Hello everyone and welcome to the World Series of Board Gaming news update for February. We're going to be breaking down all the latest from the World Series of Board Gaming, and we're going to be announcing a winner of Gaia Project. We're going to give away a copy of Gaia Project at the end of this news update, so you have to listen to my entire timeshare pitch about what's going on with the World Series. If you missed it, we're starting a designer interview series where we're going to be interviewing a bunch of the designers, starting with those who designed the games that create the tournament of the World Series of Board Gaming, and the first two have been awesome. We've interviewed Helga Ostertag, who designed Gaia Project, and then Martin Wallace just recently, who designed Brass Birmingham. There's still time, if you're seeing this video, to go check out that interview with Martin Wallace and check out the one with Helga Ostertag too if you want, but still check out the one with Martin Wallace and drop a comment. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, which I'm sure you are, and you have a chance to win Brass Birmingham, but we'll get to that in a second. The purpose of these videos is to take you through all of the news updates that have been going on behind the scenes as we prepare for the World Series of Board Gaming. We're starting off with a doozy. This is something that I have been excited about for a long while, actually, trying to firm up the logistics of, and we have breaking news. We have a new tournament category starting in 2023. This is the Outer Ring Tournaments. This is a new ticket price, a new cheaper price to get you into the World Series, to get you into the sort of atmosphere and the vibe. This doesn't get you into the main tournament, but it does get you into all of our Outer Ring tournaments, which starts at $150, which is very comparable to sort of any convention that you would attend. Here, you get into the spirit of competition, you get to attend the event, and you get to do it for cheaper. If you don't know me, I want to save you money, and so that's why I'm excited to have this awesome new pass to focus on our Outer Ring events. And I'm just going to jump right ahead to here. We'll cover some of the other Outer Ring events in a second, but we are having our official Dice Throne Championship tournament housed within our tournament as well. So if you're a Dice Throne competitor and you want to just participate in Dice Throne, they're having their own sort of separate tournament where you can become the Dice Throne champion, and that'll be housed in the World Series. That'll be streamed live through our streaming channels, and you can participate in that if you are coming from out of town and you just want to do the Dice Throne tournament, or if you're part of the main event. Of course, you can compete in any of these Outer Ring tournaments, any of them that you want. If you happen, just let's say the worst happens and you get booted out in the first round, well, don't worry, there are still other tournaments and fun events that you can participate in, and we've scheduled them as such so that you have access to as many as possible to make your event as jam-packed as it can be. I'm so thrilled. This is what I've kind of been hinting at. I hint at a lot of things. There's so much stuff that I get excited about, and then I say, please let me tell everyone, let me tell all of my friends, and they say, no, you can't, and then I just tell you anyway. But yeah, I'm really thrilled to be able to announce this new tournament category. Let's see what the copy actually says here. Play to win at your favorite board game. The Outer Ring Games challenge competitive board gamers to be the best at a single game competitions. Seats for these games can be reserved when buying an Outer Ring player pass, or by simply being a WSBG Ring player who can walk up during the event and register for an open seat. Some of these competitions are designed and run by the game's publishers as well. We're going to be bringing in a number of different publishers to get involved to be able to run their own tournaments. I'll switch views here for a second. If you click through, if you're not signed up for our newsletter, make sure to sign up, because then you get all these awesome links. You can click through, you can find the Outer Ring schedule, the current Outer Ring schedule, on our website, WSBGVegas.com, and you can see where everything is happening. So if you were sad that Catan is not in the main event anymore, but you, Brent Jecklin, he was our Catan champion, he came in third overall, you can go and you can participate in the Outer Ring event of Catan and walk away with a grand prize, a $200 coupon for 2024. We're in all of these sort of Outer Ring events. We've got Root, we've got Lost Cities. These are the proposed events that we're locking down. Of course, this could be subject to change, but we're trying to go with the schedule here. You can see the different sessions of Dice Throne that you can sign up for. So depending how your day is, you only need to be in one of those sessions to qualify for the Dice Throne final. We've got Lost Ruins of Arnak. We've got Carcassonne and Blood Rage from the past. We've got Heat, Pedal to the Metal. If you've never played it, well, hey, why not compete in a tournament right away and see if you can win a big prize? Win your way back into the event next year, right? Any of these sort of outer ring tournaments will allow you the possibility to win potentially your ticket for next time. I just want to get y'all back in. That's what I want to do. You see Cascadia and then also here Wingspan are in the mix as well. Those are in our main events, but we thought it might be fun to have sort of an outer ring tournament of them, kind of scale down the stakes. Maybe you get knocked out in the first round of Cascadia and Wingspan, and you think, you know what, I want a second chance at that. I want to fight for redemption, and you can be that sort of second chance winner, which we might be contemplating implementing something like that for next year's tournament too. The opportunity for more and different events and different prize tiers, but that's a down the line thing. That's not necessarily happening this year, but that's just a little spoiler that I like to include in all of these sort of updates, and that's why you tune in, because I can't keep my mouth shut, and soon I will be fired. Endless Winter, which I just played for the first time. Make sure you go for those animals in that hunting ground. That's all I've got to say. Radlands, which I've yet to play, and well, let's face it, I'm not going to have any time to play any games at WSBG, but that doesn't mean you won't have that time. And Marvel Remix, these are sort of the ones that are on the docket in contention, in addition to that Dice Throne Championship as well. So if you were unsure, if you felt like, okay, maybe the WSBG, it feels like too competitive an atmosphere. I don't know if my skills are up to snuff. We wanted there to be sort of a second level tournament where people can go and can try out their luck and just attend in that convention sense, but still attend in that sort of competitive sense as well. You can always bring a guest to the event. You can always purchase a guest pass, which gets them into the 5-day event, 5 days access to Dice Tower West library. But that guest pass is sort of the less competitive of the side of things. And in this one, you can get in by yourself. You don't need to know somebody who's actually participating in the tournament, and we can still keep up with WSBG's mandate of competitive gaming, because that's what we want to be. We want that to set us apart. We want to still exist in that competitive gaming realm and push the envelope and keep moving forward with our goal of bringing competitive gaming to the masses, making our hobby as big as poker and darts and all of those sort of things. We'll see it on ESPN next year, or at least that would be pretty cool if we did. That's just a wish, right? So I'm pretty excited that Dice Throne is going to be there, and you can bring your favorite heroes with you to the battle. Are you incredible at the Monk? The Monk is my favorite character of all of Dice Throne. The Monk is so versatile, but you know, Thor or Loki could give them a run for their money. I did a video ranking the Dice Throne characters that I have played over on the Room and Board channel a little bit ago. I'm a big fan of Dice Throne. I think it is very fun. I think it also will exist really well in that competitive space too. So I'm just over the moon to be working with the Dice Throne team, getting that up and running. In addition to this new $150 pass, we wanted to give you a way to access all the competitive atmosphere of World Series of Board Gaming, and with smaller prizes than that $25,000 prize, and just be able to have anybody who wants to participate or feels like they want to compete in fun tournaments. Well, that's what the World Series is all about. So yeah, I'm very excited for that $150 pass. Of course, you can always just spend an extra $100 and go into the main tournament. You could do that too. And then you'd still have all the access to all of these outer ring events. Who knows, you might win one of those championship rings that are just, every time I think about them, I want to quit and enter myself. Or you can stay with this $150 pass as well and participate in whatever competitions that sound fun to you. This is a big thing here saying, did you also know you can win prizes in the outer ring events? You can. If we switch back to that one view, you can see that every person, we have it listed here, who enters into these competitions, first place will always receive that coupon to 2024 for more than an outer ring ticket costs. And then if you come in second or third, well, we like prizes, so we'll throw in some money for the vendor hall. You can go and you can buy yourself a new game. Everybody wins. And there's no reason why you can't compete in multiple of these either and give yourself multiple shots at winning those additional prizes while you're there. Oh, I'm so thrilled. And speaking about other things that we've been working on just to make sure that this is a safe and welcoming space for everyone to keep forward with our mission that the World Series is the World Series. We have established our new diversity committee, which I'm also on. And I think I wrote this copy, so I believe it. But what's really exciting here is that we're working with Our Family Plays Games. If you haven't seen their channel, check them out. We're also working with Jason Perez of Shelf Stories and One Stop Co-op Shop. Both of them have consulted a ton in terms of like diversity and inclusion. And then I also wanted to get a mix of industry experts and people who attended the event last year in order to help us just be better. My goal in terms of being on the other side of things is to always make sure that this is an environment that is safe and welcoming to everyone. Doesn't matter who you are. If you like playing games and you want to compete in games, we want to have you here. So that's why I asked MJ and Hans, who you may remember from being at the Blood Rage final table. It was such a fun final table, to also sit on the diversity committee and just make sure that it is a safe and inclusive and inviting atmosphere for everyone. Not that it hasn't been in the past. I thought last year was an awesome event. We had 0 issues, at least to my knowledge. But I think it's important to think about ways that we can always do better, and we can always have a focus on inclusion and diversity and making sure everybody feels invited to attend. And so that's what the 6 of us are attempting to do. And then in the newsletter, we have their bios as well, of just who they are, what they stand for. Mick and Starla are just a friggin' blast. Their channel is so much fun. I've played Codenames with them, and that was, maybe one of the best Codenames games I've ever played. So that was great. Hans being our champion. He also has a YouTuber, a Chinese-speaking YouTube channel as well. We're the opponent. So if you want to check that out, you should. That's me, which, you know me already, so it doesn't matter. Jason, as I said, is on Shelf Stories or One Stop Co-op. And Jason was also instrumental in... I wrote this up for Jason. Jason was also instrumental in helping bring that new gorgeous edition of Puerto Rico to light, which I'm personally excited about because I wanted a nice Puerto Rico that looked good, and it finally looks good. And also his channel Shelf Stories, I have loved ever since he started making it. I think he just talks about inclusion and tough issues in a really empathetic and understanding and intelligent way, and I have learned a lot. And then we have MJ, who her bio I think is my favorite. MJ retired out of the U.S. Air Force, and her wife had no idea what she was getting herself into when she told her to find a hobby. And this is cool. She showed up to a local Catan tournament, paid the entry fee, and quickly found someone to show her how to play. Out of the 61 people entered, she took 42nd. That's also awesome that, like, it just shows how welcoming this space is. And if you happen to show up at the Outer Ring tournament, you didn't know how to play, I'm sure you could still have a fun time. And she's also starting another YouTube channel, but this is a veteran-centered board gaming and bourbon YouTube channel, which I'll be sure to drop the link in our sort of updates when that comes out. But yeah, all of these wonderful people, I'm so excited to be working with them and just making sure that the World Series is for everyone and that everyone feels welcome to come, and that we reach out to everyone to make sure we get the whole dang world here. World domination is our goal, and this is the committee that will make that happen. Wait, did I say that out loud? No. The next little bit of news is something that I've also been working on. I mean, I kind of work on everything behind the scenes. I do what I can. I'm hustling every day to try to make this the best event that it can possibly be and make it the most fun for you. So if you ever have any suggestions or things that you want to see happen, well, just, reach out and I'll try to implement them. I mean, within reason. If you say you want to ride in on a unicorn being held up by balloons so that you're soaring through the air and you feel like it's a Pegasus, well, I'll do my best, but no promises on that front. But something that I have been working on is a regional convention, a regional qualifier, and you can win your way to the World Series of Board Gaming. You can win your way into the game. PrezCon is happening right now. This newsletter went out a little bit late, so we don't have to worry about that. But some of the people involved in World Series are also involved in PrezCon, so we're holding one there. But there's still time to get in at Adepticon or Dice Tower West or Breakout Con, which is in Toronto. Both Dice Tower West and Adepticon. Dice Tower West, the ticket sales have closed online, but you can, I think, show up at the door. I mean, I would double check that you can show up at the door and purchase a ticket before you fly to Vegas. But I think they did say that in one of their announcements. So if you're still interested in going to Dice Tower West, I'm going to be there at Dice Tower West hosting a regional qualifier. And what the regional qualifiers are, and I think I've talked about them a little bit on the news updates, but I might as well go over it now in case this is the first one that you're tuning into. The regional tournaments are mini WSBG tournaments in the structure of the World Series. So Adepticon is running their own, but I'm going down to help Dice Tower run theirs. And so what we'll be doing there is we're going to have 2 rounds of a game. So 16 players per game, which gets down to 4 players for that final game. And you become the game winner, which would be the ring winner in our event. And you get one of those amazing World Series rings that I'm always talking about and jealous of, especially to the people who have 2. There'll be a mini tournament of 16, or depending however many people sign up, and then it'll whittle their way and you'll go into the semifinals. And just like the World Series, we're going to have a semifinal game where it's random out of the 16. You won't play a game that you just won. And so you'll have to see how adaptable you are and how malleable you are, and this will get you ready for when you get into the finals and the semifinals of the main event. And then the winners of the semifinals will move on to a final, which again will be done in tournament fashion, a random game that nobody in the final has won yet over the course of that tournament, plus a blind veto. And then the winner of that tournament wins themselves a stay and play package to go to WSBG, valued at $1,000, sorry, $999. But you know what? If you want it to be $1,000, I will personally give you $1 at the event. You come up to me if you've won the regional qualifier. Of course, you have to find me because I'll be running around the event. I'm going to make it hard for you to find me, but if you do, I will give you $1, a Canadian dollar, so that it is valued at $1,000 prize. Yeah, you can win that at Dice Tower West. You can win that at Adepticon. And then Breakout Con, which I'll also be running because I live in Toronto, if you didn't know. And if any of my Canadians out there, you should come to Breakout Con, see me hang out. We're going to have a smaller version of the event because it's a little bit smaller because Canada's just smaller. You know, we're just smaller up here. We're shorter. We're short people. There won't be a stay and play to be won at Breakout Con, but you will win a pretty good discount off of your ticket. I think valued at $160 is what we've put it at, just over that bar to get into that outer ring ticket event. To make sure that you can attend the event through going to this Breakout Con. That's why I set the bar at that price, and I couldn't tell anybody until we announced our $150 ticket. If you know of any other conventions that you might be going to that you think would be a great fit for a regional qualifier, get in touch with me and I'll get in touch with them, or tell them to get in touch with me. They can contact us on our website through the contact form and I'll get access to it, and we'll hook them up with how to run a regional qualifier to send the winner to Vegas. We want to have these all over, and if you think there's a convention out there that's happening in April or May, all of these are happening in March. Dice Tower is from the 8th to the 12th. Breakout is from 17th to 19th. And then Adepticon is from the 22nd to the 26th, all of March. But if you have any that are further out and you think we have enough time to organize this, have them get in touch with me. I want to have more of these because I think it's fun. And also my mandate, my personal goal is to make it as accessible as possible for people to attend this event. And this is the way to do it if you can't afford that ticket price. Well, now you can. You can win your way. And the best part about these regional qualifiers is that anyone who runs an official regional qualifier, any cost of the ticket that is required to enter, we will give you a credit, that credit off of your World Series ticket. That's the guarantee. So it is zero risk to try out in one of these qualifiers, to cut your teeth on this competition. We will give you that money back of the qualifier, not necessarily the entire convention, but of the qualifier. We will give you that money back off of your ticket, making it zero risk to try to go out and win this thing and win your way in, which I'm thrilled that we can offer that. I want to make it zero risk. You know, I want to make it that you're not spending that extra money, and then if you lose, you have to spend more money to attend. I don't like that. So I want to make sure that you don't have to spend anything and you can still attend these regional qualifier events. And so that's how we've set it up that way. I know. I do have your best interests at heart. I may talk fast, but that's just because I'm an excitable person, and I didn't even get to tell my joke that I wrote in this copy. Participate in the mini WSBG tournament to test your mettle against those in your region and defeat them all to emerge not just assistant to the regional champion, but regional champion yourself. Thank you, Dwight Schrute. And hey, if you don't have time to search and read old newsletters, well, we have all of the news updates here on WSBG's YouTube channel, which is where you are, and you can hang out with me, as I'm sure every single one of you wants to do. So that's it. That's the newsletter, but we're not done yet. Let me just set up this random comment generator because one of you is going to win yourself a copy of Gaia Project. You've made it here, and I know you didn't just skip ahead to see if you've won. I know you've watched all the other stuff because really, it's a good update. It's a good news update. I gotta figure out some great news to tell you next month because this one, anyway, I'm thrilled. I've personally poured a lot of work into trying to make this event successful and as fun as possible. I want anyone who attends, no matter if you win or you're out in the first round of every event you participate in, which I'm sure won't happen to you. I'm very sure, but I want to make sure that everybody is able to have an awesome, just an incredible time, an incredible getaway, an incredible experience. So I'm going to work hard to make sure that happens. And if you didn't have an incredible experience, well, come find me. I will make myself difficult to find, and I will give you one single Canadian dollar. I better get my packs of loonies. No, I'm holding the rolls of loonies here. Let's be clear. Let's get that YouTube comment picker going. You can see I paused the worst possible screenshot. I'm sorry, Helga. Let's get this URL, and let's go to the random YouTube comment picker, filter duplicate users, 111 unique comments. We are going to figure out the winner right now. I'll make sure I move my head. Congratulations to whoever's going to be picked right now. You're going to win yourself a copy of Gaia Project. Again, go check out our designer series. I'm going to try to get as many designers as I can. We've got a few people lined up. Hopefully Arc Nova will be coming soon. Maybe Dune Imperium, Cascadia, Raw. I'm in touch with all those designers, and I'm getting in touch with more. And there will also be just, fun content that isn't the news updates. Even though I know this content is fun, there'll be stuff about the industry, sort of that interview or podcast format, and just hanging out and talking about board games, because if you didn't know, that's why I do what I do. So let's find a winner. Let's see what they say. Billy Indiana says, I've been playing Gaia Project quite a bit on BGA and Steam, but I'm still new to the game, so I haven't tried all the factions yet. Well, congratulations, Billy Indiana. Billy Indiana, he has a YouTube channel, and he was at last year's event. He came down and he participated, and he has a recap on his channel about his time. So congratulations to you. We will be in touch in terms of how you can get that copy of Gaia Project. And if you're disappointed that you didn't win Gaia Project, well, I've got news for you. Don't worry. You have a chance to win another awesome game, Brass Birmingham. That's right, Brass Birmingham. And if you go over to our series with Martin Wallace, drop a comment and subscribe and watch the interview, you can win yourself a copy of the game. We will announce that in our next news update, as well as if we manage to get any other interviews before that time out. They might be in our April update, but don't worry, you can win that, or potentially Martin Wallace's favorite game, which he talks about in the interview, or his favorite of his designs. So congratulations, Billy Indiana. Send me an email at chris@wsbgvegas.com, and we will be in touch. And I also have an additional incentive to share the interviews with whoever you can. If you get someone to say in the comment that gets picked who sent them over, well, I'm going to enter you into a draw to potentially win a ticket to Vegas as well. If nobody tags their friends, then nobody's going to get this prize. But if people tag their friends and they get picked, well, then you don't have to worry that it was your friend who got picked instead of you, even though you can probably play the game with them. You're also entered into a prize as well. And that is, again, an initiative that thankfully I've convinced people to let me do. Or perhaps they're just finding out for the first time now, in which case, to my bosses, I'm so sorry, but I've said it and I can't take it back. But I want to make sure that these interviews are seen, because I want this channel to not only be about news updates, but also about spreading joy from the hobby. And these designers have been instrumental in creating the games that we love and enjoy and are now competing in. And I just think that deserves to be seen. I want WSBG, again, to be an industry leader and a world leader in helping bring the board gaming space forward into the mass market. So that's why I feel so passionate about doing additional content as well. Anyway, that's it for me. Thanks for tuning in for this whole big update. Once again, my name's Chris George, and hey, get in the game. Hope to see you in Vegas.